Hi everyone. I actually shown you in previous session how to deploy a Kubernetes cluster via Kops. But as I told you, that was the default installation, a Kubernetes cluster by Kops, which is definitely not secure. But you can use that for the purpose of learning. In this session, I'm just going to show you what are the security issues that it has, and I will watch through it from a security engineer perspective. Okay. Uh, what I remember in last session, there was a problem just before starting. Let me show you something. Yeah, there was a problem with connecting to my master node, though I didn't need any uh, master node direct SSH kind of thing, because by the way, I could run kubectl commands here. And as you can see, I already got the cluster ready and it is running. And this is my local machine. So it means that Kube API server, which is running on the master node, is authenticating my local machine and the user, which is H.Soleimani here. So just to have a high level view, once you run a kubectl command, you're not more running a bash command or shell command. You're actually uh, running an API. So there is an API connection from this machine, which is a kind of director, and it is more secure to do your job via a director sometimes, by the way, to the master node. But in last session, we couldn't do that, and it was a very actually tricky problem. The problem was here. So this is my machine. I had ID RSA, which is my private key, and ID RSA. Once I wanted to create a key, previously I hit enter and things, but it just the private key overwritten on the private key, but the public key was there. So you know that every private key is specific for the public keys. So that caused a mismatch between private key and the public key. So I again actually created it. In order to do that, I went here and okay, let me show you again. I just delete my IDs here. So RM ID star. You know that if you put star, it's kind of a wildcard here. So I just hit this one and you can see that, okay, everything is gone, right? So I get back to my home. Just making, if you are not very familiar with Linux, try to actually get yourself uh, to run pwd commands, stuff like that, always to know in which directory you are, because sometimes it's very important. And here we just run SSH key gen, right? RSA, and the wrapping is RSA, and that one is actually the the size of the key. So I use the default ones. So now I already got a new keys here. If I gonna actually connect to my master node, which is here, I won't do it with these new keys because I'm using the private key here. Just have a look. Okay, permission is denied. It is the exactly problem we had before. Okay, but since I already created new private and public key, then all I have to do is going to my control plane. Here, you just hit connect. Let me go to a wide shot. Okay, and there are a couple of ways to get connected to your instance via AWS console. So I will go like this, connect instant okay, see? So what I'm gonna do, I'm going to authorize keys. Let's do my favorite command, vi, double D, everything gone, right? And then get back to WSL, gain my favorite command, cat ssh id rsa.pub. This is my public key. You got to be a bit of accurate. Let me see if it's been posted or not. Huh? Again. Okay. So if you just hit home on your keyboard, you will get back to the first of the line. These are some tricks which are very useful once you're using VI text editor and stuff like that. My actually mm, presumption and my pre-assumption is actually everyone who is uh, attending these series which I'm going to provide are at least intermediate or advanced Kubernetes containerization and Linux users. Because honestly, there are a lot of, Kubernetes, even CKS course and stuff like that around. So you might actually you can refer to that. I might provide these courses in future as well. But my main aim for providing these courses and these videos are having a specific and very practical and pragmatic view from a point of view from a real cloud security engineer, So I'm pretty sure you won't see the content which I'm going to start easily, in other courses. So my target students are people with at least, mm, basic understanding of the commands, Linux, OS, even cloud and Kubernetes and containerization, because you have to have these information first in order to make a cluster more secure. Uh, all right, so Let's get back here. So the public key here should be same as the public key which I had here, all right, on my local machine. So this time, okay, you see, Ubuntu, I'm on my cloud, okay? I'm on my uh, mm, control plane. That's fine. So let's get back to the console again. Here is our console. Okay, what are my problems here? So in terms of securing a Kubernetes cluster, I believe we can actually have two categories. First category is securing the infrastructure of a cluster. The second one, I believe it will come underneath the category of application security or access security, which is coming underneath the Kubernetes security itself. So from my point of view, we can actually divide the security of a Kubernetes cluster to two main jobs. First is infrastructure security. The second one is Kubernetes security itself, or running Kubernetes in a secure manner or state. This is my actually couple of years of experience in this field, because my first job in Kubernetes environment was securing a telco level Kubernetes cluster. And believe on me, once I did my first job, there weren't too much contents about Kubernetes. The only things I think it was available was CKS courses, which I believe it is just basics. But this categorization is from my own point of view. There might be some other stuff outside, but this is the way which I categorize a Kubernetes cluster. So from hyperscalers' point of view, public clouds like AWS, Azure, and Google Cloud, they are providing Kubernetes services for you. For instance, EKS being provided by AWS. It's a long time ago. So in these cases, you shouldn't be too much uh, worry about infrastructure security, which is provided by, for example, EKS, because AWS employees and AWS itself is responsible to provide you a secure infrastructure. But once you're gonna actually deploy and secure a self-managed Kubernetes clusters like the one which we have here, which is a Kops deployed Kubernetes cluster, or the one which I did on my first video, which was a Kube Spray Kubernetes cluster, then in this case, definitely the infrastructure is with you. You might have these infrastructures inside a private cloud like OpenStack or other private clouds. And in these cases, you definitely need to have enough knowledge how to secure the infrastructure as well. But Kubernetes application security, or how to run a Kubernetes cluster in a secure manner, I believe is common between uh, self-managed Kubernetes clusters, like what you have here, and public cloud provided or public cloud managed, I can say, Kubernetes clusters. Okay, so what I can see from my point of view as a security issues here, please consider that this is I use AWS environment just for the lab purpose, but you can actually map it as per your requirement. One thing here for me is my main concern is security groups. These security groups could be named something else. They are something. It is about having, you know, firewall and stuff between the nodes which are running Kubernetes cluster. So let's have a look. What type of security group we have here? So let's get back here. This is my security group. See, see that port 22 from any source is open to masternode. It's definitely a big security concern. Then these ports are these are inbound rules, and you know that we have stateful outbound rules in AWS environment. So everything being defined in outbound rules are stateful. Once I say stateful mm, is an expression I can say came from networking, and it is used on firewalls. It's a long time we use it in firewalls. So I remember I learned about that once I was actually doing ASA, which is Cisco, firewalls. And uh, the term stateful means whatever port which is actually you go through that to the outside world, the reply can came back from that port as well. So in this case, even if, for example, you are behind a firewall and you are pinging, uh, for example, google.com, let me show you. This is my master node, okay? I'm pinging, for instance, this is anyway ICMP protocol. I'm pinging here. Okay, what is happening here? My ICMP request message is going out of the firewall, but it's coming back because I'm pretty sure AWS or in the internet gateway, which we have in any VPC here, there is a stateful kind of, rules. But by the way, we have it here as well. For outbound rules are in place for any security groups in AWS, and they are stateful. So if you go, for example, you can see it's been mentioned destination, this one, destination, this one. So you can go, everything can go out from this uh, master instances. I personally believe it is not much secure even to have something like this. I myself rather to add ACL groups, or ACL is something on top of, uh, security groups, which is actually doing uh, firewall kind of stuff on networking layer. But by the way, let's let's forget the outbound for now, but you can see the first problem here. Then these ports, these range of ports, which is a huge range, I think, are allowed from this source, which is this security group. Let's see what is this security group. Just imagine you are inside a, on-premise data center, and uh, in that on-premise data center, you got a very important server, which is your master node, and you're gonna see is that secure enough or not. Okay, saying IPv4, for example, we have IPv6 here. If you're not gonna use IPv6, don't put it in inside inbound rules. We are saying, okay, it's saying SSH, as you can see from here, is okay, and all traffic from all ports. This is the inbound rules of this security group. So I can see something like, for other instances as well. So something may be used in other instances as well. Just get back to my own security group. All right. See, port 443, which is HTTPS, is also open from all the sources, not secure again. There is a description for them as well, as you can see. For example, from master ingress all master. So this is about master to masters. We just have one master here. So, but if you were using if you were deploying a high level cluster, it might have been useful for you. This is another port one, which is this is the role ID, and it is saying source is this one. Let me see what is this source. So anything from this source, which is you can put, uh, sources. Uh, you can put security groups as sources inside, uh, security groups. So it's kind of in nested security groups here. So it's saying all traffic from this one, this one. Let me see what is the description. Maybe I can get something from here. Yeah, see master nodes. This is the security group between master nodes and between this is the security group between nodes, between worker nodes. What I can see is all traffic. So it means that all traffic here are allowed, which is definitely not secure. Here again, all right. So from nodes, blah blah blah. So okay, let me test something. Uh, what I could see was all traffics were allowed. So definitely ICMP is one part of them. Let me see if we can ping this one. See, it's got a private IP address, which is for private subnet. I didn't do anything. It is that everything is in default on default mode. So this is my one of the nodes, and we are in a master. Okay, let me see if we can ping it. Yeah, we can ping it. See, so we can ping from master to the worker node, and the other thing is, even I think we can ping it from our local machine. Let me see. Let me open up another WSL. So this is my local machine, yeah? Ping. Yeah, hopefully we cannot ping it. Well, I'm pretty sure we can SSH to that. SSH, let me see what type of username it's got. Even I can maybe SSH from here, which is my master node. Okay, denied. So these were the things relevant to security groups. Okay, now let's get to S3 bucket. So every states in Kops will be saved in a S3 bucket. So let's get to here. So what we have our PKI here, secrets, Kops version, backups, add-ons. See what is the add-ons, Kops controller add-ons. You know that if you change anything here, it will be available there. So this is what we will discuss in other sessions. This is the config. Versioning is disabled here. It means that you will lose the information if anything happens. And the other thing I can see, let me see the permissions. Okay, it's publicly accessible, so there is no boundary being defined to access this bucket. Public access is blocked because block public access settings are turned on for this. Okay, so this is by default not accessible because hopefully public access is blocked. All right, from my perspective, most of the problems are a wide range of security groups between the nodes. The other thing which doesn't make sense for me is that all these machines got a public IP. So once you have a public IP, you're actually putting your nodes on risk. So definitely, so see, this is the public IPs, 325, 327, 52.64. These are not private IPs. Although you got private IPs for each node as well, like here, but this is all internal. This is what you can get it from the internet. And you can even see, we can open this if nothing is there at the moment. But if I was, for example, even if I put something inside my HTTP, so let me see if HTTP is running here. So if I put HTTP, put index, something like that, I can easily see. So there is nothing here, but by the way, it is still accessible. So even if I run from the other Let me get back to my machine. Remember, HS curl. Anyway, we won't see anything here, but just for the purpose of showing you that they are accessible from public network. So I'm already on a public uh, internet. So I'm just curling this one. Most of the curls are going port 80. I'm running KE. You can see trying to get into this one. Okay, let's get back to control plane, CD, etc. Let me see if we got HTTP. No, we don't have HTTP version. Let's install HTTP. Okay, CD, etc, HTTP. Uh, maybe HTTP server. Let's see. Okay, error CD etc sudo systemctl status HTTP service. All right, let's ask from ChatGPT, installing HTTP server on a Linux machine. Okay, an Apache server. Sudo apt install Apache 2. Okay, yes. And then status is running. Okay, so where can I put So can I put index in that? All right. Here, this is what you got as a default. Let's have a title. I will put you are not secure. Yeah. Yes. See if running. Yeah, it's running. Then let's open up another WSL. What was the IP address? This is the IP address. I'm going to kill this IP address. Let me see if I put my index HTML here. So cd var HTML. It's not there. Sudo su cd var. Oh, I didn't start. Uh, I didn't enable my HTTPD. Get back to does not exist. Okay. Let me start it. There's no HTTPD. Oh, it's not a daemon. I want to see a hello message from that Ubuntu machine with exposing HTTP as a server. Yeah. All right, I had to start Apache, not HTTP. HTTPD is for CentOS. That's the problem. Then reload it. And let's get back to outside world. Kill. Shell HTTP, not from here, but maybe I can do it from another worker node. What was the IP? So this is another worker node. See if I can see that. Maybe it's not been reloaded yet. CD. Let's see if var is there. Var www html here. So we got it is sudo. Hmm. Let's cat index. What did I put here? Title. These are HTML content. You are not secure. Okay. And curl HTTP colon this one. All right. Put the maybe we can put the private IP address. By the way. Where is the other one? Is it that one? This one. Oh, okay. See, I just did the curl. So if it is actually, let me see if it is. Okay. If I just grep -I, for example, what was the secure? You can see, okay, you are not secure. All right. So you can see that I already got an HTTP Apache server running on my control plane node, but I got access to that via another node here. I couldn't get access via, my uh, local machine, which means that maybe the default security group will not allow it to be happened, hopefully. Let me see if I can see kind of verbosity here. Yeah, anyway, but these are not actually, I just wanted to show you that, okay, having such a, open kind of uh, environment is definitely not secure. So imagine that someone get access to your control machine or your nodes, then the attacker can expose some services to these public IP addresses, change the security groups, then expose anything to these IP addresses, and this might cause some issues for you. Okay, imagine I am the attacker here. So uh, instead of port 22 here, if I just go and add another rule, which is something like this is the source, okay? Uh, security group is here. Uh, okay, you are an attacker, you already got access for any reason to this one. But since there is a public IP for your control node, so you can, for instance, I don't know where I can add a rule. Then you put just HTTP available from anywhere, for instance, okay? And then just save it. In this case, if I get back to my control plane node, it took 216, yeah? And this is my uh, local machine. This is Hamed.Soleimani desktop. See? Okay. Why I am outside the world. I am from internet, okay? From public network. So here I could easily grep dash I secure. You've seen that, okay. You are not secure. So anyone, even from my browser, just copy it here, go back, go to here, paste. See, it works. Apache. So why I could do that? Because I assigned a public IP to that. You've seen in previous video, I didn't assign any public IPs to any of the cluster nodes by deploying that kube spray deployment. But here you got public IP. So definitely, what is the solution? We have to put them all inside the subnet, a private subnet, then create a NAT gateway, and through that NAT gateway, we can get to the internet. So we will make it more secure. In a production level, you have to actually deploy uh, load balancers and stuff like that as well. Anyway, so next step, I'm going to destroy this cluster because I don't need it more. Please be careful. I put this delete command on previous session as well because unfortunately it is very tricky. Even if you go through here and delete these instances, what will happen? Let me show you. Even if you go and terminate them, okay, I'm terminating them, okay? Since there is a auto-scaling groups here being defined by Kops, and you see it's got desired capacity minimum 1 and maximum 1, okay? And it is DNS based. So what will happen if you just go here and you think that, okay, it's like Cube Spray, because in Cube Spray, what I have done, these are my, this was my Ansible controller. You remember my Ansible controller, all right. This is my Ansible controller node. It was actually, it was consisted of 6 nodes. But here it's not like that. Although you put them in terminate shutting down mode, After a while, you get back here, you see, okay, eh, something is running. So remember, and what will happen? The other worker nodes and things will come. So it's a kind of, making it more available. So that's very good. If you put, if you're working in a very critical infrastructures like banks or whatever, if you put them in an auto scaling group, which Kops is doing it like that, you make your cluster very available. So even if someone or by any mistake or something happened to any node, for example, it's something normal anyway. Some nodes could be, restarted during an operation. It happens. So then the autoscaler, see, the node is coming. After a while, I'm pretty sure the control node will come back. So what you have to do, you have to delete it your uh, from your local machine, which is actually your controller. So let's do center here, history. Okay, this is the Kops delete cluster, blah, blah, blah. So you just run this command. If you don't run this command and you're going to do it manually, you have to go and delete those auto scaling groups, S3 bucket, EC2s and stuff. I remember the first time I did Kops, I just stopped the, instances, and after a couple of weeks, I got back and seen that, okay, I've been charged uh, not hundreds, but thousands of dollars. So, uh, yeah, I was very worried that this not happened for you. As you can see, it's actually deleting it from here. So in this case, there is no auto scaling also. Let me see if auto scaling. Okay, see minimum, maximum, it comes to 0. So you go to dashboard, running, nothing is running. But this command actually, I think that S3 won't be deleted as I remember. Yeah, S3 won't be deleted because it actually have your state here. It's good for the purpose of learning because in future, once we're gonna get access to this cluster, so see this cluster been deleted. So you don't need to be worried about anything. So everything relevant to that except the S3 bucket, I think, which is actually saving the status, will be deleted. So next time we just have to create it and then configure it. It will be available in a couple of minutes for us, so we can do our learning stuff and then delete them all. Okay, I think that's enough for this session. In next session, I discussed about the security problems such a default deployment of Kops could have, but in next session, we'll deep dive into, installing Kops in a more secure way. My plan is to do that, and after a couple of sessions, which is relevant to the infrastructure security, we'll get back to Kubernetes, security itself. I can say itself, or Kubernetes secure operation, in which I will actually talk about OIDC, HashiCorp, how to integrate HashiVault or OIDC providers, identity providers, and every knowledge which I gained during these couple of years regarding real security issues of Kubernetes clusters. And something else, please subscribe to my channel so I can provide you. It will give me, a kind of, passion, encouragement, or, it will passionate, or, kind of motivation to upload more videos for you. Please subscribe my channel if it was useful for you. And then please put like, comment, whatever, put your ideas, and it makes me to provide more useful videos. Thank you very much. Have a good time. Bye.